You're still tuned in to the continuing coverage of the vleague Challenge Cup 2022 Women's Volleyball Competition po tayo ngayong araw na to, and we are in our second game out of 4 matches live from the Paco Arena today. But before that, we would like to introduce ourselves once again. I'm Lawrence Fernandez, and this is Jamie La Victoria, our analyst for today. As we review the matches for today, we have FEU winning in 4 sets. And our second game would be the San Beda Lady Red Spikers against the UST Golden Tigresses. San Beda, 2 games, 2 losses, and they haven't won a set yet, and they haven't even reached 20 points in any of those sets. As we check out the standings first from Pool B action, we have the College of St. Benilde Blazers and the University of the Philippines have identical 2-0 records, while the University of Santo Tomas and San Beda University have identical 0-2 records. So going back to our discussion, Jamie, San Beda 2 games, 2 losses, haven't won a set. What seems to be lacking for the Lady Red Lions in this competition?
Well, San Beda, I feel like, needs to lift up that energy, and I think that they need to find a spark in today's match. I think it's important that they stay mentally tough and boost their confidence.
Yeah, they also had 33 errors during their last game against the College of St. Benilde Blazers. But despite a lot of mistakes, there has been a positive spot on the part of the Lady Red Lions, and we're talking about Angel May Habacon, their open hitter, who had 13 points in that game. She is the only player from San Beda who has reached double digits in any of those games. So how vital is it to have support system outside of Angel Habacon?
I feel like it's really important to have that key player, but at the same time, I think her other teammates need to help her out. It can't just be a one team, and it's really important that they help each other out throughout this game.
Meanwhile, UST also at 0-2, but they lost 4 sets to CSB and also lost 4 sets to UP. Bitter losses, that is, especially the fact that extended sets yung dalawang set against UP. But there have been bright spots in the Golden Tigresses. Talking about Angeli Abellana, 15 points in that game, Jamie. What does this exposure for a young player like Angeli Abellana bring to her confidence?
I love the confidence that she's giving to her team and to herself as well. I feel like this young team is going to thrive today, and I love how she brings that confidence on the court.
Yeah.
No fear talaga.
No fear, and that's what they need to be able to earn their first victory here in the vleague. When we return, it's the battle of the jungle. Will it be the Lions or will it be the Golden Tigresses? We will be back with more volleyball action. This is the vleague.
officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde. Second referee, Mr. Joven Racelis. Let's call on our starting lineup from our Lady Red Spikers of San Beda University. Let's begin with their team captain, number 13, Trisha May Paras. At number 1, Angel May Habacon. Wearing jersey number 2, Kleine Rose Abraham. Number 8, Patricia Senzon. Number 15, Maxine Tayag. And number 17, Catlea Molina. Libero, number 11, Milka Flores. Head coach, Mr. Ariel De La Cruz. Presenting our Golden Tigresses from the University of Santo Tomas. Team captain wears jersey number 12, Keslin Galdones. At number 2, April Jirin Tapia. Number 3, Isabel Jamie Jimenez. Number 5, Aimee Kim Hernandez. Number 10, Camille Victoria. And number 24, Maria Cassandra Carvalho. Libero, number 4, Bernadette Pepito. Head coach, Mr. Emilio Kung Fu Reyes.
Checking out the starting lineup for San Beda, we have Pachi Senzon, Angel Habacon, Kat Molina, Trisha Paras, their team captain, Marian Tayag, Klein Abraham, and their starting libero is Micah Flores. Samantala sa panig ng UST, we have Casey Galdones, Isa Jimenez, Camille Victoria, April Tapia, Aimee Hernandez, Casey Carvalho. Starting libero is it's Bernadette Pepito on the floor for the Golden Tigresses. Our first referee is Fernando Velarde. Second referee is Joven Racelis. And who will have the bigger roar in this game? Will it be the Lady Red Lions of San Beda, or will it be the Golden Tigresses of UST? We welcome you to set number 1.
Great tip.
Tapia scores with that tip. Early start for the UST, Jamie.
Yung set ni Carvalho medyo mababa, but she was able to adjust to that.
Yeah, good adjustment on the part of April Tapia, who by the way is being christened as like the second coming of Assisi Rondina.
Wow.
Talking about April Tapia, and that's an ace.
Great
On
serve.
the part of Carvalho. So that's one good set for Carvalho, and also one ace for the former De La Salle Sobel player.
It's really
Carvalho. Yeah.
Yes, it's really important for San Beda to step it up today. UST is a great team, and they just have to minimize their unforced errors today.
Yeah, minimizing those unforced errors, because UST has been in those losses. Though they lost, they had fights in those defeats. And
Great talent, just they end up falling short and making crucial mistakes during crunch time.
that's something that they have to avoid, talking about San Beda. Meanwhile, our score is 2-1 in favor of the Golden Tigresses. Senzon sets it up, but that was dug. Victoria, but the libero was there. Another attack by San Beda goes out.
Great dig by Flores sa San Beda.
Yeah, great dig by Flores. Unfortunately, that attack error by Catlea Molina gives point number 3 for UST. April Tapia on the service line for the Golden Tigresses. Nagawan pa ng paraan ng San Beda yon. Carvalho, back set. No go. But the ball hit the antenna, unfortunately. And another point for the Golden Tigresses.
Ang bigat ng serve ni Tapia, that's why San Beda is having a hard time receiving, allowing them to be forced to set the wings, which is the UT, and not being able to utilize the middle today.
Yeah, early on in set 1, we are seeing problems with the reception ng San Beda. And that's not a good sign if
There we
to
go.
win. Attack from the middle was received, and a miscommunication on the part of UST.
those instances like that, that's actually the worst feeling for the setter, to see that the miss hit or just the miscommunication that goes along with the game.
Do you console setters when they commit errors like those?
I feel bad when I see them. I'm like, oh no, it's the worst.
Meanwhile, back to live action.
Great set.
4-2 ang talaan. Unfortunately, ball is out.
That's
With
a great
attack
set.
by Jimenez. Yes, it's a good set. Unfortunately, that push by Jimenez went out.
Right idea though, just a little bit too strong.
Yes, and with that point, San Beda still within striking distance early in set number 1. Free serving 4. Jimenez susubok mulit.
There you go.
Good adjustment on the part of Jimenez. Check it out one more time. That set by Tapia. And
Finding the open space there.
yes. Tagang ginawa nila ng paraan na makabawi kagad si Jimenez to get her going
Yes.
here in the set. Not to lose her morale, so to speak. Meanwhile, team
Great
captain
serve.
Casey Galdones with a good serve. San Beda on the attack. No go.
Great
Carvalho
set.
back sets to Galdones. Galdones naman to Jimenez. Another block by San Beda. Third time for UST.
There we go.
This time Jimenez goes through the block.
Was
That-
able to score after the second try.
Yep, and that's 2 successive points on the part of Isa Jimenez.
She's slowly gaining her confidence, and I could see her, that fire in her eyes after each time she scores.
And with that confidence by Jimenez, it's now 6-3 in favor of UST. Another back set by Carvalho, but that was well received by the Lady Red Spikers. Tapia to Jimenez once more. Ginawa ng paraan. Senzon was there. On the block.
Wow. I have to give credit to Amy Hernandez. She is everywhere. She's blocking, and after blocking, she's ready to spike as well. And that's a true sign of a great middle
Yeah,
blocker.
check it out one more time. Good pancake save by Flores, but to no avail because that was blocked by Hernandez. And also Victoria was there. Obviously, we notice height advantage to UST's favor.
Yes. With San Beda over here, they need to step it up a little bit with their service receive.
With that first technical timeout, UST is up 8-3. We'll be back with more volleyball action.
Good vibes ang gustong bitbitin ng Lady Red Spikers into today's game after coming from 2 losses. Sabi ni Coach Ariel, sa practice pa lang, they were already building up this kind of positivity, hoping na malessen ang kanilang errors today. Sabi ni Coach, that has been the problem from their past 2 games, is the errors got to their head. Nagpromise naman daw ang kanyang players to show winning attitude and give their 100%. During warm-up, pati si Coach napapasayaw dahil tradition daw nila as a team ay mag-Zumba before every game. Coach is hoping for everyone to step up today and work as a team. Lawrence and Jamie?
Thank you very much for that insight, Sam Coloso. Unfortunately, they couldn't find the rhythm early in the game despite the Zumba before the game. Talking about San Beda because they are down 4 against UST. And that's another point for the Golden Tigers as they're now down 5.
Another unforced error by San Beda. Coming from, both of the teams are winless. I believe that San Beda has to minimize their unforced errors because they're giving them points, and they need to minimize these crucial errors talaga.
That has been the issue for both teams, especially with their previous games. San Beda had 33 errors against CSB. Meanwhile, UST has 48 against UP. Unfortunately, that attack sailed out for San Beda. And that's another quick timeout on the part of Coach Ariel de la Cruz. We'll listen into the huddle.
Ayan yung blocker nila. Ayan pumupunta ron. As nandyan lang yung set eh. Kaya hindi makabuelo sa inyo, ilabas mo doon.
Okay.
Diba? Tatlo yung spiker mo eh. O di, wala naman sumasabay sa quick. Di, bigyan mo sa quick. Sabi ko nga sa'yo lagi, bigyan mo ng tiwala yung spiker mo. Diba? Okay naman yung galaw eh. Bigyan mo lang tiwala yung spiker mo. Mga kapalo yan, maniwala ka lang. Ha? Sige, sige. Yan lang muna. Receive muna, tapos take tayo. Ha? Sige, sige.
Coach Ariel said in the timeout that the setters should give more to the quick, allowing them to gain more confidence. And I think that it is important because Habakon cannot be a one-man team. The setter has to be able to adjust and give other options like setting the quick in UT as well.
Yeah, we check out the standings earlier of Pool B. CSB and UP both at 2-0, and then both teams both at 0 and 2. Meanwhile, that service ace by Victoria sends UST to point number 11. SBU is still stuck at 4.
She's been on the service line for a while now. You can see from here that her serve is super heavy.
Yeah, those heavy serves dealing problems with
Quick
Force and
attack.
Beda.
There we go. It's really important throughout the game that the setter utilizes the middle. It can't just be open all the time, just so your spikers can also gain that confidence needed for this game.
Yeah, variation is the key to be able to disguise their attacks, especially with the noticeable height advantage on the part of UST. That's what San Beda has to do.
Unforced error.
But that's something that they don't want to do one too many times in this game.
Medyo wrong timing yung service error niya.
Yeah, unfortunately, they were building momentum already, but
And then
they
it broke.
broke it, unfortunately. Meanwhile, on the service line for UST is Isa Jimenez. Sends on with the bump set. Carvalho this time to the middle.
Great spike by Hernandez.
Hernandez is coming alive in this game. Check it out one more time. Carvalho with a quick attack to Hernandez.
And Carvalho is able to set her middles because may receive, may defense, may counter.
Everything follows if you have a good first ball.
Great set.
Back on this
Yeah,
time.
through the
Off
block.
top.
You can just see the fire in her eyes pumping up her teammates.
Yeah, because they're now down by 7 points. And they have to make their push right now if they are to catch up against UST. Delerio with the first ball. Carvalho sends it to Tapia. And the ball goes to the side of San Beda and an easy over. UST would have another opportunity. And Hernandez scores 2 in a row.
Great set. I can see that the setter of UST, Carvalho, is really being smart on who to set. She knows when to set the quick, when to set the open, and it's really helping for the team right now.
It's also because they have that height advantage. They're trying to
Yes.
maximize it with their middles. Hernandez and also Galdones. That's why they're having success, talking about UST. Meanwhile, Habakon was blocked. 1-2 play, no go. That's an illegal attack, says our first referee, Fernando Velarde. San Beda trying to plead their case, at least Habakon at that time.
I think with that one, the libero of San Beda was setting the ball in front of the 10-foot line.
That's the infraction that the first referee called. Nonetheless, it's a point for UST, 15 serving 6.
Great serve.
Meanwhile, an over-reception. Unfortunately, that's a net touch by April Tapia.
Right idea?
Just clipping the net,
Yes.
unfortunately. Meanwhile, on the service line is Angel Habakon from Bislig, Surigao del Sur.
Great serve.
Great serve received by Tapia. Tapia with an attack.
Wow.
Tapia down the line.
That was all her, Tapia. Great receive, great set, great spike.
Yeah, Carvalho rewarding Tapia with that great reception, and that sends us to our second technical timeout. UST comfortably ahead, 16-7. We will be back with more volleyball action. If you want more volleyball action, we'll have more for you here at the vleague on Sunday, October 30th, still at the Paco Arena. Puro men's volleyball action po tayo. We will have the San Sebastian Stags against the Perpetual System Delta Altas first game. Adamson Soaring Falcons against the Arellano Chiefs second game. UP Fighting Maroons against the Ateneo Blue Eagles in the fourth game. And we'll have UST and CSB on the fourth game. Meanwhile, back in live action, Habakon sends it over.
Great dig by Habakon.
Middle
Combination
attack.
play. I love the strategy of Carballo during this game. She's really switching up the offense, and because of that, San Beda is having a hard time reading the spikes.
Because they're having a hard time reading the spikes, UST is now up by 10. This is a big margin.
Ace
and that's an
serve.
ace. That's the second ace of this set for Casey Carballo. And that's why Coach Ariel de la Cruz will be forced to call time once again. Let's listen in.
Di ba kakasabi ko lang sa'yo, dito ka na. Kasi lumalabas yung spiker eh. Oh, dito sila pumapalo, hindi naman cross court eh. Establish mo na yan. Ha? Ganyan ka rin. Ha? O, pagbalik, dalawa spiker mo. O di, Mikay, rumisip ka muna. Pag nandito ang bola, si Ading nasa harap mo, bigay mo ng quick. O di pagka tikin mo malangan, bigay mo kay Kat. Ha? Nakaka-backline si Angel. Ha? Gumalaw kasi kayo, dapat i-enjoy nyo. Ha? Kasi hindi pa lumalabas, may nervyos pa eh. Ha? Sige, isigaw nyo ba? Isigaw nyo ba?
Coach Ariel in the timeout stated that the girls have to move and enjoy, and he also mentioned a specific play that hopefully with great receive they're able to establish that.
Yeah, hoping that that specific play will bring success to their cause here in set number 1. Because UST is now up by a big margin. This is an 11-point lead for the Golden Tigresses. Carballo is still serving. That's a sharp serve for Carballo.
There we go, utilizing the quick.
Unfortunately, a net touch on the part of San Beda. Good intention though on the part of the Lady Red Spikers.
They were able to establish the play that coach wanted them to do in the timeout.
San Beda, relatively young squad. Do you think they're being rattled?
Yes.
Because UST is a more established unit already?
Yes, you could kind of see in their faces that they look a little bit timid. They're not as fluid with their movements, and you can see on their faces that may konting fear.
And that's something that you don't want to have in the game of volleyball, that fear, and it will not bring you places. Meanwhile, the lack of fear on the part of UST gives them a 13-point lead, 20 serving 7. At doon na matatapos yung stint ni Carballo sa service line.
With San Beda being such a young team, I feel like these leagues are a great experience for them. I always say that it's only a loss if you don't learn. So with these games, hopefully they're learning and taking it all in.
I hope they learn fast because UST is pulling away and they need something
May
to be
konting
able to
spark.
catch up. Yes, they need a spark. And that's why Habakon is trying to spark Senzon, who's now serving for the
Great
Lady
serve.
Red Spikers. Great serve, but a great attack also
block.
by Victoria. Yeah, there's a lack of net defense on the part
Yes.
of San Beda.
Carballo is doing a great job of tricking the blockers of San Beda and is forcing them to not even be up to block because it's so fast.
That's why San Beda should be quicker on their reflexes if they are to thwart the attacks of UST. Minsan yung kalmot na yun, naka-score pa.
Campfire zone yet again. Or as they say, the donut hole.
A donut hole, that's a broken play. Looked like a broken play on the part of San Beda, but a point nonetheless. That brings them to double digits, 10 serving 21.
Unfortunately, with points like that, it's sometimes easier to get the harder spikes than get yung miss hits and to dive because it's hard for them to know where the ball is going.
Indeed, and that hard spike by Galdones from the middle attack gives UST its 22nd point, needing just 3 points to close this set. So far, it has been all UST here in set number 1, with team captain Casey Galdones on the service line. Here's an attack by San Beda, but that was blocked. To the other side they go. Nice pancake save by Galdones. Jimenez with an attack.
In the net. That was a great defense by Galdones.
Nice
That
save by
pancake.
Galdones that time. Unfortunately, Jimenez couldn't convert. The net did not become her friend at that moment. As we mentioned a while ago, earlier in the broadcast, it could be a friend or an enemy. In that
Yes,
time, the
it
net
was
was
an
an enemy. It was a friend to San Beda though. That's why they have 11 points now.
Unforced
But
error.
they gave up another point of that service error.
The movement of San Beda, it may flow ng konti, but after giving an unforced error again, it breaks that momentum that they're trying to gain from the start and have been throughout this first set.
Yeah, they couldn't find that succession of points, of success that is. That's why this lead is still
Great set.
huge. Victoria's attack was well received by San Beda. Susubok naman si Carvalho, sends it to Jimenez.
Same spot again.
Same spot.
I've noticed with the defensive pattern of San Beda, the player in the back row is going automatically down the line, but the spiking of UST is actually in zone 6. So they
Yeah.
have to make that adjustment.
And with that attack by Isa Jimenez in zone 6, we are now at set point, and this is 13 set points for UST.
Soft touch.
San Beda was able to get 1 set point back, courtesy of that attack by Abraham. And that's something that they have to do in this set and in the succeeding set, finding a way around the blockers of UST.
Great serve.
Abraham, great serve. Carvalho, Jimenez, ginawa na lang ng paraan yun. Meanwhile, Senzon sends it to Habacon. Block.
Great block by
One more try for
Hernandez.
Habacon. Carvalho sends it to Jimenez.
wow, through the block. Actually with no block.
With no blockers. And with that emphatic hit by Isa Jimenez, that closes an easy first set for UST 25-12. As you check it out one more time, that's just open. That's zone 6. San Beda has to do something with that
Yes.
spot to be able to win a set or overhaul this game to their favor. Check out the numbers again. 25-12 in favor of UST. Everything going UST's way in set number 1 via the tune of 25-12 against the San Beda Lady Red Spikers. It was a dominant performance for UST. As we check out the highlights, Isa Jimenez having some success with that open zone 6 in the defense of San Beda. Despite that good save by Flores, again, the net defense also of UST well established in this game. And they're having success with those quick attacks with Hernandez, Galdones, and also Victoria. And that has been the story in set number 1. UST just pulling up all the stops, and San Beda couldn't find their rhythm. And that's what we're going to see with the numbers that we have from set number 1.
And as you could see on the screen, we have the stats of set 1. We have 12 attacks by UST and 4 from San Beda. 1 block each with 4 aces from UST and 7 airs from UST and 8 airs from San Beda. And as you can see from the stats, clearly UST is dominating offensively. And we need San Beda to have some spark for the second set and to have some positive energy, smile, and not look so fearful.
Yeah, we welcome you to set number 2. And that opens with a not so good tune with that service error by Senzon, giving the first point to UST on the service line. Now are the Golden Tigresses.
2 unforced errors in a row. I think it's important that San Beda really minimizes these unforced errors, especially being a team that hasn't been playing as they want to, and they need to really step it up today.
So what adjustments would you want to see for the Lady Red Spikers as we check out that ace first, courtesy of Kaasi? What adjustments does San Beda have to do to be able to turn the tide and get the momentum?
It all starts with a pass. You know, volleyball is a game full of mistakes, but it's also a simple sport. It has dig, set, spike. And without these passes that they're giving, they are not able to run anything. They are not able to run the quick. They are not able to run combination plays because they can't master the basics of digging and receiving.
Meanwhile, that sequence, San Beda finding some success with that attack at the middle. And now serving is Tayag. Marian Tayag, that is.
Great set.
Kaasi with a set.
Great set by Cassie. And she's new to set number 2. And she replaced Carballo from the first set. So let's see if she has a different strategy. It's nice seeing different setters going on the court because everyone has their own setting style, just like how every spiker has their own spiking style.
And I guess that's the goal of preseason tournaments like this. Give everybody an opportunity to shine and give them exposure so that when future tournaments come in and the bigger tournaments start, they'll have that confidence once they get in these games.
And that experience as well.
Yeah, that's a big factor, especially for young players and especially for a relatively young squad like San Beda. But at this moment, San Beda sees themselves down by 2 points.
Great serve.
4. Kaasi to Jimenez. Block, but still good for Jimenez.
San Beda is not doing a great job with defense. They're continuously just looking at each other. They don't know who's going to get the ball, and that's what's killing their team right now. A lot of miscommunication and unforced errors.
Yeah, the reaction time also is like a step slow.
Medyo late yung reaction time.
Yes. Meanwhile,
0.5.
0.5. They have to speed it up. Meanwhile, and a successful attack on the part of the Lady Red Spikers. Hindi na as you check out that replay, that's Molina having that point. Galdones couldn't control the ball. So it's now 3 serving 5. And Catlea Molina on the service line from Pili Camarines Sur. Also played for Naga College Foundation.
Great serve by
Sharp
Molina.
serve, but Delerio was there. A good attack for UST, no go. Habakon this time.
Wow, through the block, Habakon.
And Habakon is fired up. Check it out one more time. Senzon sends it to Habakon, just finding a gap through the blockers of UST. So aside from catching the games at the vleague website and also the vleague Facebook page, you can also watch the games live on CNN Philippines starting this Sunday at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So more opportunities for you to catch these games. But of course, it's also nice to see you here at the Paco Arena. Join us. Meanwhile, tabla tayo, 5 apiece.
Unforced error.
Another unforced error. Seems like half of UST's points are off unforced errors by San Beda.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Serving for UST is Ecalia. Yeah, go ahead.
It's important for San Beda to earn their points and not to just rely on the unforced errors of UST also.
Because UST is not making too many errors. That's why they could not rely on those mistakes. Habakon with an attack. Kaasi to the middle.
No block by San Beda.
And that's a point by Mary Grace Vernais. You mentioned no blockers that time for San Beda. And that has been a recurring problem for the team. We're already in set 2.
UST is doing a great job of digging, which is allowing them to use the quick attack.
On the other side, bumawi naman ang San Beda, courtesy of their team captain, Trisha Paras with an attack. 6 serving 7. And on the line to serve is Trisha Paras mula sa Lingayen, Pangasinan.
Great serve.
Good serve. Over received. At bumabawi ang San Beda with 2 quick points.
I'm loving the energy and the vibe of San Beda today on the second set. Unlike the first set, they're smiling today on the second set and they're enjoying it.
Yeah, they have established that fight in them.
Great
Talking
serve.
about San Beda. Jimenez this time with an attack. Received. Senzon to Habakon. Block!
It's important.
Check it out one more time. Habakon. Blocked at the net. Denied. That's why after the first technical timeout, we have UST ahead by 1-8-7. Let's hear more insights from our courtside reporter, Sam Coloso.
Thanks, Lawrence. Also coming in from 2 losing streaks, the Golden Tigresses are coming in with fighting spirit, hoping to break that streak. Sabi ni Coach Kung Fu, after a lot of unforced errors and poor movement in their last game today, they need to keep moving, and Coach isn't giving them an option to stop. Today, they want to minimize hesitation and doubt. As Coach Kung Fu wants his seniors to step up in today's game, he wants his players to perform well and finish well. Whatever happens, Coach Kung Fu is willing to give that extra patience and guidance to push these ladies. Lawrence and Jamie.
Thank you very much, Sam Coloso, for that update. And so far, smooth sailing on the part of UST. They're up to 9-7 after that easy win in set number 1, 25-12.
Quick attack.
And they're just exploiting their advantage at the middle, Jamie.
Cassie is doing a great job of setting the middle because she knows that there's no block from San Beda in the middle and they're always late or not even up to block.
So what can San Beda do then if, as we check out that ace first by Isa Jimenez, what can San Beda do then to minimize? As you hold that thought first, we will have this timeout by San Beda. We'll listen into the huddle of Coach Ariel.
Kayo, nanditong galing yan, ang layo ng pinanggalingan niya, tapos luluhod kayo dyan. Hindi, forward na kayo dyan, tapos pag out naman, kinukuha nyo. Ha? Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo ba, hindi kayo nakapag-isip ba? Mag-isip kayo ng paraan. O rumisip tayo ng maayos. Hindi pa tinataas yung bola sa galing sa service, gumagalaw na kayo. Kaya pagdating ng bola, hindi na kayo makakagalaw. Hintayin nyo muna, pag contact ng bola sa kamay, saka kayo gagalaw. Ha? Sige, rumisip muna tayo ng maayos, tapos saka tayo mga matake. Nag-uumpisa pa lang yan, huwag kayo mawawala ng pag-asa.
Coach Ariel stated in the timeout that the San Beda team is not thinking of a plan. They are not thinking of ways to win. And he also mentioned that they have to receive properly in order for them to attack.
It has been the reception that has been the concern throughout the entire game for San Beda. And we were mentioning earlier, if you don't have that net defense, how do you respond, especially against a dominant team like UST?
You have to be ready for everything. You know that UST is dominating and blocking right now, so San Beda has to cover. You can't just wait for things to happen. You have to act on it and move forward.
Meanwhile, lucky break there on the part of San Beda. Make that 2 lucky breaks on the part of the Lady Red Spikers off that ace by Habakon. That follows up an error by UST. They are now able to trim that lead to half. 9 serving 11 here in set number 2. Habakon.
Great serve.
Great serve. Delerio sends it to Tapia. But Flores was there. Well received by Delerio. Tapia once again.
In the net. We see that San Beda is slowly gaining momentum. I love the smile on Habakon's face every time her team scores. She really rejoices after every single point.
Yeah, and that is a positive influence also on the part of Habakon
It's
to her
contagious.
teammates. Yes, that's contagious. Unfortunately, that's something that they don't want to spread across the team, those errors, those mental lapses. And just when San Beda was inching closer,
Unforced error na naman.
an unforced error gives UST a little bit of a cushion, 12 serving 10. Senzon sets it, but Tapia was there waiting. Kaasi to Tapia once again, off the block. But Tayag was there for the save. Jimenez to Kaasi. Tapia, third time. Strong attack from Tapia.
Tapia's approach, super explosive.
Indeed. Check it out one more time. Again, it's that same gap that Jimenez was exploiting earlier.
San Beda has to adjust their blocking to medyo cross instead of down the line. It's important that San Beda looks at the patterns of UST and where they spike the ball to make these proper adjustments.
And so far, off the block attack by San Beda. Let's see that one more time, courtesy of Marian Tayag, finding that gap sa mga blockers ng UST. It's now 11 serving 13.
Great serve.
Delerio to Galdones at the middle. UST will reset. Delerio sends it to Tapia. And a soft tip by Tapia is good.
Those points like that, it's giving San Beda, those are points where they shouldn't be getting points actually. Those are an easy tip over. It should be dug easily, set easily, and then put it over. Too many unforced errors right now.
Yeah, on the part also of Tapia adjusting. Earlier, malakas yung palo niya. That time, a soft tip. Both worked for her. Unfortunately, that attack did not work on the part of San Beda. It's now 15 to 11. UST reverting to a 4-point advantage here in set 2. And still serving is Kaasi for the Golden Tigresses. Senzon sets it to the middle. Pepito clipping the net that time.
Touch. You can see San Beda gaining momentum from the unforced errors of UST.
And it's also important that with every point that they get, whether it's an error or an attack, they are celebrating. They're
Together.
they're finding joy and happiness, and that rubs off eventually to the entire squad. But they have to convert points if they are to overhaul this deficit.
Unforced error again.
And that's another point for San Beda. 13 to 15 now is the count. And San Beda still has the side out with Maxime Tayag on the service line, their middle blocker. So this is just a 2-point advantage for UST. San Beda trying to inch closer. Kaasi sets it to Ekalia.
Campfire zone.
Again, another soft tip by Ikalia, successful. And that brings us to our second technical timeout in set 2. UST up 16-13. This is the V-League where it all started. We'd like to remind you of our games on Sunday, October the 30th, still here at the Paco Arena. Puro men's volleyball competition po tayo on Sunday. San Sebastian against Perpetual first game, Adamson against Arellano second game, UP against Ateneo third game, and College of St. Benilde against UST in the fourth game. So that is a quadruple header for us, and game day Sunday coming up this October 30th. Meanwhile, balik tayo sa aksyon dito between UST and San Beda. And UST just pulling all the right stuff so far,
Yes.
Jamie. What is working well for UST? That's why they have been so dominant.
Like what just happened, they're blocking and their serves. I've noticed that their serves are super heavy, which is allowing San Beda to have a hard time receiving, which is then allowing them not to have proper offense.
Yeah, they're using their service as first striking point. First attack, that is.
Free ball
Talking about
over.
UST. Opportunity for UST this time. To Jimenez they go, but Pepito was there. Galdones this time.
Great
Finding
by
that corner.
Yes.
And UST is just picking their spots. If they're not having success with Tapia or Jimenez here on the open spot, they bring it in the middle.
It's important that the setter of UST, Cassie, sets her middles continuously because she knows that San Beda is not dominant with height.
And that lack of challenge giving some success to UST with that attack in the middle. Meanwhile, Senzon with the bump set and that miss hit by Molina gives another point to the Golden Tigresses. And despite that point by UST, Coach Kung Fu Reyes not letting up with the teaching and the
Yes.
instructions, because one swing of the momentum can turn the fortunes of San Beda around.
Yes, and even if the score is like this, the girls have to stay disciplined.
Yep.
They can't let down and think, oh, this game is easy. They have to stay disciplined, still work hard, and do their job.
Yeah, especially with sequences like those. An attack courtesy of Catlea Molina, bouncing back from that earlier mistake on the other side of the court, gives San Beda point number 14. And they serve against UST. Kaasi to the middle to Galdones. And that's too easy for UST. That has been there all game.
Yes. I noticed that with UST's offense, the quick attack has been extremely effective today. And there's no block from San Beda.
Yeah, you can count the miss hits of those middle attacks from UST.
Yes.
There are not too many miss hits. Oh, that's an ace by Galdones.
That was going out.
That was going out, but it bounced off Tayag.
Unfortunately, it hit her arm before she can turn, allowing her to let the ball go out.
Yeah, and that lucky break gives UST point number 21. San Beda at 14. 7-point advantage for the Golden Tigresses.
Okay, that one was out.
That one was out. This time, Tayag not on the line of the ball. And that's clearly a service error, that is, for UST.
San
go ahead.
Beda needs that spark right now to uplift their energy.
Yeah, there have been moments wherein they could come close. They could trim it to 2, maybe even 1 point. Meanwhile, we check out that attack
Yes.
by Ikalia, but just as they come close, UST always has that response. They can always find that answer to whatever attack San Beda is putting up.
Yes, and there you have a double sub, and with the double sub, it allows 3 spikers at the net,
Yeah.
and not just 2.
Full front court on the part of
Exactly.
UST. Si Kaasi lumabas at itong si Carvalho on the service line for the Golden Tigresses. Sharp serve para kay
Great
Carvalho.
serve.
Senzon giving chase. Ginawa na lang ng paraan yun. Still a successful hit by Habakon. Medyo natatawa pa si Habakon that time because she just adjusted in mid-air and just finding that open zone in front of Tapia. Substitutions on the part of San Beda though. Si Abraham babalik, and also coming in is Ariana Binondo, setter.
Double sub.
Double substitution also, trying to get a full front court. Etong San Beda. Meanwhile, Delerio bump set to Victoria. Binondo
Good set.
sends it to Habakon, but Carvalho was there. Victoria, no go. Binondo back set. Wala pa rin. UST with another try.
Sharp cross.
Habakon this time for San Beda. Rally continues. Victoria. And the action continues with Abraham with the spike. No go. Delerio sends it. And that ball sails
Outside.
out.
What a rally.
That was a rally. What a rally. And that goes to the side of San Beda of that attack error by Isa Jimenez.
San Beda is slowly catching up over here.
Yeah, they're
Creeping
trying to trim the deficit. A 5-point deficit, that is. Ano nga,
Great
bumawi.
job.
Si Isa Jimenez from that earlier attack error. Carvalho just sending it via a bump set to Jimenez. And despite having blockers for San Beda, still Jimenez found a way to score. 23-17 is
Heavy
the count.
serve
Abraham mishit.
in the net.
That's 4 touches on the part of San Beda. At mapapa-time out dito si Coach Ariel with our score 24-17 UST at set point.
Yung bola, may control. Diba, simula naglaro tayo, tuwing nagko-control kayo ng spike, diba, lalo nag-error. Pag tumas na yung bola sa inyo, parang, sabi ko na nga sa inyo, wala namang mangyari. Win or lose, basta maglaro na lang tayo ng maayos. Ha? Tulungan tayo. Sige,
Tulungan tayo.
Coach Ariel stated the timeout that the spikers have to control their spike and whether win or lose, play the game properly. And it's important that this is where the basics come into play, dig, set, and spike.
Coach Ariel is just reminding the Lady Red Spikers to play the game properly because it has been one too many errors on their part.
Yes.
And that's why UST is up by a big margin, 24-17. UST has 7 set points to work with, and Isa Jimenez on the service line for the Golden Tigresses. Binondo sets it to the middle.
There you go.
And
Quick attack.
that's a good response of a timeout, courtesy
See?
of San Beda.
With a great dig, with great receive, you're able to utilize the middle. And that's what just happened.
But San Beda has to do it more times than that to be able to overhaul this 6-point deficit. Carvalho this time sends it to Tapia, but blocked. Carvalho was there. Delerio sends it to the other side to Victoria. San Beda, good floor defense that time. San Beda not giving up in this sequence, and they send the ball over. Opportunity for UST to score.
Not over.
Unfortunately, that attack not over para dito kay Mary Grace Vernais. And that's 2 points on the part of the Lady Red Spikers. They're still in this set,
Yes.
but they cannot afford any error. And they have to,
Oh no, in the net.
unfortunately, just as I mentioned it, broadcasters jinx, I guess. They cannot afford any errors, but an anticlimactic end to set number 2 with UST taking another set 25-19. Not as dominant as the first set, but we will be back for more action here at the vleague where it all started. It's a different set, but the same result for the UST Golden Tigresses. They take a 2-0 advantage here in this game against the San Beda Lady Red Spikers 2-0. As we check out that highlights from that set, San Beda showed fight in that set, courtesy of Habakon and some middle attacks from the likes of Tayag. But UST is just too much for them in set number 2, courtesy of those attacks from Tapia, and they were activating their middle hitters, just like that attack from Kayceline Galdones, their team captain, as we check out the stats for set 2.
And as you could see on our screen, we have 10 attacks from San Beda and 11 for UST, 3 blocks from UST, 0 from San Beda, 3 aces from UST, and 2 aces from San Beda. And we have around the same amount of errors from both teams, 7 and 8 today.
Though the block advantage of UST is just 3-0, we could really see that they were foiling or they were neutralizing a lot of attacks by San Beda.
Yes.
Even though it goes off the block, it makes it easier for their receivers
Exactly.
to get the first ball and make good sets.
Exactly. And they kind of know the pattern and trend of San Beda that it's going to Habakon. So they're already there. And they're already established with the block.
So if you're San Beda and you know that Habakon will be checked, what could you do to be able to get a set and possibly turn the momentum of this game towards your favor?
It's important that San Beda realizes that Habakon cannot just do it herself. This is where the pass comes along, where you're able to utilize the quick, the utility, and even the back row attack, which I haven't really seen today.
Yeah, there's not much back row attack on the part of San Beda. There have been rare instances that they tried, but to no avail. As we welcome you to set number 3 in this game between the UST Golden Tigresses and the San Beda Lady Red Spikers. And that's now how you want to start this set for San Beda. Another service ace, this time courtesy of Kaasi.
Great effort by Habakon, diving in near the chair.
And she's showing fight, Habakon.
Yes.
But just like we mentioned a few seconds ago, it's not just her that should work
Yes.
to be able to overcome UST. And another error on the part of
Yes.
San Beda, yeah.
The setter, right idea, but too powerful over the net.
And that's why it hit the antenna. 2-0 is her score in set number 3. Kaasi still serving. Binondo this time sets it, but the block was still there for UST. Another opportunity, back row attack for San Beda. No. This time it's Abellana. And a point for UST off that net touch.
Net touch.
So that's 2 errors, quick errors that is for San Beda. And if you're catching up, you're down 2 sets to none, and you're catching up in this set 3 to none. That's something you don't want to do too often.
And the unforced errors have been killing San Beda right now because they're giving them points.
Yeah, that's 3 points. And with your opponent having all the advantages, that's something you don't want to do. San Beda has to be more careful with their possessions and with the ball. Middle attack this time.
Wow, tip.
And that has been a rare instance of success with that middle attack. This time, courtesy of Maxine Tayag. On deck to serve for San Beda, Ariana Binondo.
Great serve.
Great serve, but Delerio was there. Quick attack was foiled by San Beda. Adjusting is Molina. UST once again.
Wow, sharp cross by Victoria.
Let's check it out one more time. Kaasi sends it to Victoria. Just finding that gap in front of Flores, the libero of San Beda.
San Beda's blocking has to adjust now and notice that Victoria might not spike down the line and shift their blocking to cross.
Yeah, and also a good set on the part of Kaasi that time. That's why Victoria, all she had to do was to get a good spike and find an open zone. Adjusting in mid-air that time for San Beda, but Tapia on the attack.
Net touch again.
And that's the second net touch infraction for San Beda in this set. So it's now 5-1. UST trying to pull away early in set number 3.
I can see the movements of San Beda right now. It's more fluid, unlike the first 2 sets. Unfortunately, they're just making a lot of unforced errors that are killing them right now.
Yeah, could be adrenaline, being too eager at the net, possibly.
Wow.
Meanwhile, that block, well established for UST. And with that kill block, Coach Ariel de la Cruz will press for time. Let's listen in.
Ginagawa nyo lang, ayan ang kamay ng paluin nyo na lang, paluin. Hindi na kayo nag-iisip. Diba? Ewan ko sa inyo, kakasabi lang. Gumawa kayo ng paraan, establish nyo yung block, ikaw, gusto mo, hawakan mo na lang yung net eh. Diba? Wala kayo doon sa tamang pwesto. Nangataas na yung bola, di mo ng paraan. Pumalo ka naman, doon na nga yung kamay ng blocker, doon mo papaluin. Di paluin, pa-check mo na lang. O pwede mo hawakan yung bola, tapon mo na lang palabas. Rumisip kayo ng maayos. Ikaw naman, dahan-dahanin mo lang. Lagi pasok-sok lagi yung set mo. Taas na.
Hi, SBU! Coach Ariel stated in the timeout that they should make a plan and establish the block. And with this, everything will come into play. He also stated that they need to receive properly and just hit the ball. And gauging his tone, I feel like he's very positive, actually. I feel like the San Beda girls might be putting pressure on themselves. And that's what's causing them all these errors.
And that pressure is not doing good for the Lady Red Spikers. They're down 5. And they are not in attack by Galdones, but that was Doug.
Free ball over.
Unfortunately, Abellana was a step slow that time.
Lucky point there.
Lucky point and a good response of a timeout for San Beda. So it's now 2 serving 6. And on deck to serve is Maxine Tayag.
Rare error by UST.
Yeah. And another error on the part of San Beda though.
Back to you.
Trading errors on the part of both teams. UST having an error and also that service error by Tayag sends us to a count of 6-2 with Casey Galdones on the service line. Sharp serve by Galdones. Atake ang San Beda.
Outside.
Unfortunately, that attack is outside. And with that attack error, UST goes to the first technical timeout in set 3 with an 8-2 advantage. We will be back with more action. Let's turn it now to our courtside reporter, Sam Coloso.
Thanks, Lauren. Sabi ni Coach Ariel to the Lady Red Spikers in their huddle, win or lose today, he just wants his players to play right. Coach reminded the Lady Spikers to react well, anticipate at dumiskarte. Once they establish and start well on service, everything will fall in place. Lawrence and Jamie?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sam. Yung diskarte, I guess that's what's lacking for San Beda all throughout this game. They're moving well, but they couldn't execute in points.
And like what Coach Ariel says in the timeout, wala silang plan. They don't make adjustments right away, and I feel like they're just going through the motion. And you have to go through the motion with sense and with purpose. So I feel like San Beda really needs to dig with intention, set with intention, and spike with intention also.
And at that time, that sequence, not going to San Beda's favor again. Meanwhile, Senzon comes in at lalabas si Binondo. But this is a huge advantage for UST. 9 serving 2. Galdones is still serving. Malakas yung kanyang service
Too
that
strong.
time. Meanwhile, you can also watch the games live courtesy of CNN Philippines. Aside from our online platforms, you can start catching our games live this Sunday at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So maaari niyo pong panoorin yung ating mga laro sa vleague via CNN Philippines simula sa linggo. Balik po tayo sa aksyon. Tapia this time with an attack. And San Beda sends the ball over. And an easy play for UST, but that was well dug by San Beda. Kaasi one more time to Tapia. Meanwhile, Senzon sends it to Habakon.
Habakon.
And that's a rare instance of a successful attack for San Beda.
Yes.
Check it out one more time. Just finding that gap between the blocker and the antenna. Talk about Angel Habakon.
Habakon is doing a great job of leading by example, and even her energy is so uplifting and contagious, and hopefully it's rubbing off for her teammates as well.
So far, it's not rubbing off because they are down 5.
True. Only for her.
For her. But as this set progresses, let's see if that happens though. And again, another soft tip by Tapia. San Beda hasn't solved that open spot.
Yes.
Check it out one more time. Tapia just tapping it to the open zone. Meanwhile, substitutions on the part of UST. Victoria comes out. Kaasi comes out. Perdido comes in for the first time in this game, and Carvalho checks back in. Casey Carvalho on deck
Great
to serve.
serve.
Great serve, sharp serve. Kay Habakon muli, but Tapia was there. Carvalho back set.
Wow.
Cross-court hit. Kapapasok lang ni Perdido and she scores
Exactly.
immediately. Binigyan talaga siya ng back set doon ni Carvalho.
I love how Carvalho gives her confidence right away. You know, coming off the bench, you're cold on the sideline. You're wearing your jacket. Sometimes you don't even know when you're going to be called in. So I love how she set her to give her that confidence.
And whenever her number is called, she's ready. Casey Carvalho has proven that.
Wow, 2
And that's
points in a
another attack
row.
by Perdido. Carvalho just sending the ball over to Perdido. And Perdido just doing the best she can. And again, almost the same spot open.
Sharp cross.
Yes. A nice serve there by Carvalho. Sends on to Habakon one more time. But that was controlled by UST. Susubok ang UST mulit. But that was not over the net. This time an attack error by Perdido. And she apologizes after that blunder. Coach Kung Fu Reyes is giving her an earful. But UST is still at a comfortable spot. They're still up 7.
Yes.
This is now or never time for San Beda. They have to respond now, Jamie.
And they have to just minimize their unforced errors. Play volleyball the right way, like Coach Ariel has been saying. It's really important to play the game right.
And playing the game
again.
right with Tapia. Tapia just having success with that campfire. Having multiple attacks landing on that zone. And it's surprising that we are already in the 3rd set. But San Beda is still not having success reading those attacks that are being sent at the middle of their defense.
Great receive by Habakon.
1-2 play by Senzon, but that was easily
Free ball
read.
over.
Unfortunately, that attack by Abellana was low. She tried to find that
Deep cross.
Deep cross, yes.
I'm hoping San Beda, ignites some type of fire on the court, but unfortunately, with the score that we have here, 6-13, I'm not sure if they'll be able to do well in the set.
Well, just like they always say, take it 1 point at a time, and that's how you start a run, courtesy of an ace by Jaskril Kasugod,
Yes.
who is the younger sister of
Jen
Jet Kasugod.
Yes.
So volleyball runs in the blood of Jaskril
Yes.
Kasugod. And she scores immediately, checking in with that ace. And here she is again on the serve, but that is an error.
Unfortunately, that tends to happen. A player has an ace, and then the next serve is a miss serve, unfortunately.
Then why do you think that happens occasionally?
Maybe the adrenaline, you get hyped up after getting an ace, and sometimes the next serve is too strong.
Or you're trying to outdo yourself on the next sequence, that's why
Yes.
you tend to think of it too much and you get a mistake.
And you try and change what you just did when you should have just stuck to what you just did.
Yeah, you're trying to change your mechanics and yet to no avail. But a point apparently for San Beda. That's why they get their 8 point, and that block, a rare instance once again of a kill block on the part of San Beda. Check it out one more time, Abellana.
Great block.
The wall was established there by the Lady Red Spikers.
And that's what Coach Ariel has been saying the entire time, to establish the block.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen too many often.
With the help of the net right there.
And if they're not having success in the open spot, they'll bring it back to their bread and butter. So far in this game, the middle attack. Galdones that time having success with the help of the net. It's now 15 serving 9. At itong si Jonah Perdido ang magsiserve for UST. Middle attack for UST. Yeah. San Beda giving UST a dose of their own medicine.
Back to you,
Yeah.
UST.
Back to you. But despite that middle attack, ginawan lang na din ng paraan ni Tayag yung atake na yun. It's not a solid middle attack.
Exactly. She makes a way, and it's not always about the powerful spikes.
Yeah. And with that error on the part of SBU, UST up 16-10. We will be back with more. This is The View. After that second technical timeout, UST still comfortably ahead, 16-10. And San Beda, despite multiple efforts to try to close the gap, it's just that they couldn't close in. UST
Yes.
always having answers for whatever run San
Exactly.
Beda is trying to establish.
And I have to give it to UST's offense right now. Carballo is doing a great job of running her offense smoothly by utilizing the middle and everyone else.
And that's a sharp serve by Abellana. And the block was there again for UST, but San Beda sends the ball over. Carballo back set to Galdones. A tip by Galdones. No avail.
Medyo tight yung set. You know, she was able to adjust, but it just went outside a bit.
Ginawa na lang ng paraan ni Carballo that time yung set na yon. Also Galdones making the most of that ball with that tip. Unfortunately, it sailed wide. And despite the fact that they have a 5-point advantage, Coach Kung Furias is not happy with that sequence.
He is not smiling over here.
Not smiling at all, because one bad break can turn the fortunes around. Ayun,
Great
bumawi si
job.
Galdones doon.
Galdones has been doing a great job of blocking and really being a leader on the court.
Yeah, that's what you expect from your team captain, Kaiselin Galdones. And she's fulfilling her role as the leader of UST, doing what she can to contribute to their cause. And this time, San Beda connects with that attack off the block.
Let's see if San Beda is going to form some type of spark with this.
Yeah, hoping that
Yes.
sequence will spark a run for the Lady Red Spikers, because they have to catch up now. Tapia this time on the
Wow.
combination play.
That approach, explosive, spikes with no fear.
And also a good job on the part of Vernais to disguise their attack.
Yes. Faking the blockers of San Beda.
Indeed, faking the blockers. Meanwhile, Kasugod will check out on the part of San Beda, and Trisha Paras comes in, their team captain. Carballo still serving. Senzon sets it to Habacon, but the block was there. Habacon one more time, but Pepito was there as well. Vernais.
Lucky shot there. San Beda was not ready for the defense.
And San Beda still not ready at the middle part of their defense.
Exactly.
It has been a recurring theme throughout the game, and they haven't found any response. UST has been sending a lot of balls to that spot, but they haven't covered it. Meanwhile, good block there on the part of Tapia.
Miscommunication by Senzon and Flores.
Yeah. And that miscommunication forces Coach Ariel to call a timeout. It's now 20-12 UST. Let's listen in.
Na lang, di mo pa maabot. Bakit? Tatakot ka? No. Tayo nyo mag-usap-usap. Pag dadalawang isip, di kunin nyo na yung bola. Wag nyo, sabi ko nga sa inyo, wag nyo hayaan bumaksak lang yung bola. Ayun na naman. Eh, si China, paano ka makapalon? Lagi nakakailalim sa bola. Samantala kahapon, pag pinahagi sa inyo yung bola, ayos-ayos naman ang spike approach mo. Pagdating dito, ini-experiment nyo. Yan ang problema sa atin lagi eh. Pagdating sa actual game, ini-experiment nyo na lahat yung palo nyo eh. Ini-experiment nyo lahat ng depensa nyo. Pati yung blockings nyo. Ayaw nyo sumunod eh. Ayaw nyo gawin yung tama eh. Gawin yung tama.
Coach Ariel stated in the timeout that the girls are just experimenting during the games.
Yeah, coming up next, we'll have the Ateneo Blue Eagles against the Adamson Soaring Falcons. That will be our third game in this quadruple header, live from the Paco Arena. And you were mentioning, Jamie, this is no time for experimentation
Yes.
on the part of San Beda. They have to be able to run their plays just like they do it in practice.
Exactly. And
Just like that.
that's the point of training every day. You know, weights training, court training every day. Those are the times to experiment, make mistakes, not during the actual games.
And at that time, a good sequence ended by Habacon gives San Beda their 13th point. Carballo gives it again
Wow.
to Perdido. See that one again, once more. Perdido just making the most of that good set by Carvalho.
A great set, no block.
Single block that is, but too late of a block for Senzon. It's now 21 serving 13. Sharp serve but received.
Great set.
Back on once more rather.
Tough block. Sanbeda has to make the adjustments of covering because they know, UST knows that they're going to give her the ball almost every single time. So Sanbeda has to do their job of covering.
Yeah, despite the fact that they have been checking Habakon, Sanbeda not finding other options. Here she is again. And luckily for
Check
Sanbeda,
ball.
that's a check ball. But as we mentioned earlier, Jamie, they have to find other options in terms of scoring, not just Habakon.
Of course.
To be able to free up that zone and to come back to her later and she'll have more success.
Exactly. Habakon is that uplifting player that they need, but unfortunately, the rest of the players on the court need to feed off her energy, and they are not doing that today.
Yeah, that's not rubbing off that energy of Habakon, not rubbing off to the rest of the squad. And this time, UST just needing 2 points to close this game with Mary Grace Vernais on the service line. Flores sends it to Habakon once more. Vernais
going
tried to save.
outside.
Yes.
Great effort.
Great effort by Vernais, but not getting that ball could have
Yes.
sent them to match point already.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the lady of the match for Sanbeda, Angel Habakon, almost an ace, and it is an ace. That's 2 points courtesy of Angel Habakon, and she's all smiles after that lucky break.
I love Habakon's energy all throughout the game. She's actually the only one who really smiles on the court, regardless of
Yes.
the score.
Yeah. That energy
Great serve.
is something, and that's another ace courtesy of Angel Habakon. And because of her efforts, Sanbeda is trying to inch closer. This is a 6-point deficit that they're trying to work with, 17 serving 23. And she's just smiling it off. Talking about Habakon.
Overreaching.
And that overreach sends us to match point for UST with Perdido on the service line. Jonah Perdido from Tagum, Davao del Norte. Try to close this game.
I have to give it to UST. Their coaches are utilizing almost everyone, giving everyone a chance to experience, game live matches.
Unfortunately, that attack by Senzon was too long, and that ends us to the end of the game. UST taking this in 3 straight sets. It was an easy performance, an easy outing for UST. They were just too much for Sanbeda, Jamie.
Yes. I hope that Sanbeda gets a chance to really take in all the learnings from this tournament, especially today's game, and not be so disheartened by, the losses, and really hoping that they learn from all of this.
Yeah, just like you always mention, you don't lose, you learn. And
Yes.
let's see if Sanbeda will be able to bounce back. But right now, they are now 0-3 as we turn over to our courtside reporter, Sam Coloso, with our player of the game.
Thanks, Lawrence. Kasama ko ang ating best player of the game, Cassie Carvalho ng UST Golden Tigresses. Cassie, first of all, congratulations. You broke that losing streak for you and your team. Sabi ni Coach, gusto niya makita yung inyong confidence today. Paano niyo bibitbitin yung confidence na yun into your next game?
I think po, importante lang talaga mag-enjoy para malabas lang namin yung laro namin. Ano po.
Cassie, I'm sure you have friends and family watching you right now. Pwede mo na siyang batiin.
Yes. Gusto ko lang mag-hi sa family ko sa Silay and sa Bacolod and sa sponsors namin, sa Cherry, kay Sir Morris, thank you po. And sa lahat po na naniniwala sa amin, thank you po sa inyo. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations once again to you and your team, Cassie. Once again, that was our best player of the game, Cassie Carvalho ng UST Golden Tigresses. Back to you, Lawrence and Jamie.
Maraming salamat, Sam Coloso. We check out the highlights of our game. And it was just a dominant performance for UST. especially in set number 1 wherein they won 25-12. Everything just working towards USD's way.
Yes, dominating offensively, defensively, and I have to give it to their serves. Extremely heavy for Sambeda to even receive.
Yeah, they were using it as a point of attack, their services. And their middle attacks also having success, whether it's Galdones, Hernandez, or
Yes.
even Victoria. They are just finding those empty zones or that open gaps in the defense of the Lady Red Spikers.
Exactly.
So how does Sanbeda bounce back from a game like this, a performance like, as we check out the stats first?
As you could see on the screen, we have 12 attacks from UST, 8 from Sanbeda. UST is dominating in the blocks with 4, 2 from Sanbeda, 3 aces from Sanbeda, and 1 ace from UST. And we have 8 airs from Sanbeda and 4 with UST.
Yeah, UST just imposing their dominance against the Lady Red Spikers, taking out the roar out of Sanbeda.
Yes.
And third time's the charm for UST this time as they go up to 1 and 2, while Sanbeda falls to 0 and 3 in Pool B play. Meanwhile, as that does it for the second game of our quadruple header, and we await for game number 3 between the Ateneo Blue Eagles and the Adamson Soaring Falcons. And we will be back with more volleyball action. Stay with us. This is the vleague.